Dear students, today we are discussing about separation techniques. Before going to discuss about separation techniques, we have to know what is meant by separation. Separation is a process by which the mixture is resolved into its components. The process of separation can be achieved by two methods: analytical method and preparative method. In case of analytical method, we can isolate the components and we can determine the concentration of the components. In case of preparative method, we can separate the components. Let us discuss about classification of separation. The techniques of separation are classified based on the physical properties, chemical state, and concept of partition of materials. Based on physical properties like size, mass or density, change in physical state, the separation techniques are like this: filtration, dialysis, size exclusion chromatography, centrifugation, distillation, sublimation, recrystallization and adsorption. Based on change in chemical state, the separation techniques are available as precipitation, electrodeposition, volatilization, complex formation. Based on concept of partition. So here partition is the ability of the substance to distribute in between two immiscible liquids. So based on this concept, all chromatographic techniques comes under this concept, like gas chromatography and HPLC, all comes under partition techniques. Next, another classification is about classical methods and modern methods. The techniques like distillation, decantation, extraction, evaporation are classical methods, whereas chromatography, electrophoresis are modern methods of separation. I focused only on common techniques used for the separation processes. Adsorption. Adsorption is a surface phenomena where the particle is going to adhere at the surface of the material. It won't go inside the material. This adsorption again classified into physical adsorption and chemical adsorption. The physical adsorption is also known as physisorption, where the particle bound to the surface of the material with weak van der Waals forces of attraction. For example, hydrogen and nitrogen gases are adsorbed only at the surface of the charcoal with weak van der Waals forces of attraction. In chemical adsorption, which is also known as a chemisorption, the particles bound to the surface of the material with strong chemical forces. For example, if we treat the nitrogen with iron at 623 kelvins, then nitrogen gas forms iron nitride because of this strong chemical forces. We will see the applications of adsorption. The concept of adsorption is helpful in air pollution masks because the air pollution masks contain silica gel and or activated charcoal. Both these silica gel and activated charcoal will adsorb the dust or any impurities, smoke when passed through the pollution mask. It is also applicable for the separation of noble gases by Dewar's flask. Here, Dewar's flask is a vacuum flask which contains two flasks placed one within the other and joined at the neck. So this Dewar's flask is most commonly used for the separation of noble gases based on adsorption. If we pass a mixture of noble gases, then the heated coconut charcoal will adsorb only argon and krypton. Thereby we can separate argon and krypton from the mixture of noble gases. The concept of adsorption also useful in the purification of water. If we add alum stone to the water, it will adsorb the impurities in water. Next application is removal of moisture and humidity. We all know when if we observe any leather bags and shoes, so all these contain some silica gel bags. Why? Because the silica gel G will absorb the moisture and humidity in that particular materials. It is also applicable in adsorption chromatography, where using for the separation of pigments and hormones. It is also useful in ion exchange chromatography. Also used in metallurgy for the froth flotation process of concentration of ore. Next method of separation is capillary electrophoresis. The capillary electrophoresis is separation process where we are going to separate the ions based on their electrophoretic mobility. Electrophoretic mobility is the migration of ions under the influence of electrical field. So here the electrophoretic mobility can be carried out with the help of voltage. So all the process is carried out in a silica coated capillary tube. Hence the name is capillary electrophoresis. Applications of capillary electrophoresis are: it is used for the separation of biomolecules like amino acids, peptides, proteins, DNA fragments, nucleic acids and other drugs. It is also used to detect abnormal hemoglobin, chronic alcohol abuse. The process of capillary electrophoresis also used in DNA fragmentation and also for the analysis of single strand polymorphism. Next method of separation is centrifugation process. So here we are applying centrifugal force for the separation of the particles. So it is most commonly used for the separation of insoluble materials from a liquid, where we cannot use the common filtration process. For example, if we observe here, if we subject milk for the centrifugation process, after the centrifugation process, we can clearly observe the separation of cream from the milk like this. Applications of centrifugation: used to separate two miscible substances and also to analyze the hydrodynamic properties of macromolecules, used in the purification of mammalian cells and also in the fractionation of subcellular organelles. It is also used in the separation of chalk powder from the water. Next process of separation is crystallization. So crystallization is a process of separation where we can get the crystals. Crystals are well defined three-dimensional lattice structures. We will see the process of crystallization. If we take any impure solid and allow it to dissolve with a suitable solvent with the help of a stirrer, then this solvent or mixture along with the solid is kept for evaporation. After this process, we need to cool the mixture. When the hard solution gets cooled, then we can clearly observe the formed crystals. Then these crystals can be separated by filtration process. Then we can get the pure crystals. Application of crystallization process. It is mainly used for the purification of seawater and also used to separate alum crystals from the impure samples. It is also used for the separation and purification of many compounds in a pharmaceutical industry and also used to synthesis isolation of co-crystals, pure active pharmaceutical ingredients, and also used to separate chiral isomers. Next method of separation is complex formation. It is also known as masking separation. So it is a process of separation where we can separate the compounds by complex formation process. So here most commonly the soluble complexes are formed. Here we are using the masking agents like EDTA, cyanide and tartarate to mask the unwanted metals from the reaction process. For example, to extract the gold, we are using cyanide compounds. These cyanide compounds forms water-soluble complexes with the gold. Thereby we can easily separate the gold. Next process of separation is chromatography. Chromatography is a biophysical technique where this separation involves the identification, purification of the components from the mixture, and it is most commonly used for both qualitative and quantitative estimation. These are the commonly used available chromatographic techniques. In any chromatographic technique, if we apply the sample here, that is on the stationary phase, so this is allowed to run in a mobile phase for a particular period of time. So after particular period of time, the components get resolved into individual components like this. Here the separation is taking place like this. Thereby we can get the individual components. Applications of chromatography. It is used to identify and analyze the samples for the presence of trace elements. Even in the trace elements also we can analyze. And it is also used to separate the compounds based on their molecular weight and also element composition. Also used to detect unknown compounds and to determine purity of the mixture. Used to test the water samples and also to check the air quality. The high performance liquid chromatography and gas chromatography are now very much used for the detection of various contaminants. For example, polychlorinated biphenyl in pesticides and also in oils. In forensic pathology, the chromatographic techniques are very much useful to test and analyze blood and hair samples. The next method of separation is distillation. Distillation is a classical technique which is based on selective boiling condensation process. It involves the simple mechanism where the liquid is going to be converted into vapor. Later on, this vapor we can condense into a liquid. This liquid again we are collecting. So this is known as distillation. So these are the most commonly available distillation processes: simple distillation, fractional distillation, steam distillation, vacuum distillation, air sensitive vacuum distillation, short path distillation, and zone distillation. So here the picture representing steam distillation, where we are using dry steam for the separation process. The most commonly used distillation process are simple distillation and fractional distillation. In case of simple distillation, the distillation is carried out between two miscible liquids which are having different boiling points. The difference between the boiling points is more in case of simple distillation. Whereas in fractional distillation, it is carried out between two miscible liquids which are having more or less similar boiling point. The difference between simple distillation and fractional distillation comes here is, in case of simple distillation, the apparatus is containing simple column, whereas in fractional distillation it is containing fractionating column. Applications of simple distillation: it is used to separate acetone and water, so which are having more difference in their boiling points, and it is also used most commonly for the distillation of alcohol. Applications of fractional distillation: it is used for the separation of different fractions from the petroleum products, and it is also used to separate mixture of methanol and ethanol. So we know the methanol boiling point is 64.7 degrees centigrade, whereas for ethanol it is 78.4 degrees centigrade. That is, they are containing more or less similar boiling points. Next method of separation is decantation. The decantation is also a classical method where we are going to use it to separate liquids which are having different densities. So the separation occurs based on density. So here, if we look at this picture, here gradually we are pouring liquid from one container to another container without disturbing this undissolved solid, which we can also call it as a sediment. So without disturbing this sediment, we are separating the liquid from this sediment. This process is known as decantation process. For example, if we take two different liquids, that is oil and water, they are having two different densities. So if we want to separate the mixture of oil and water, then we got two layers with water at the bottom and oil at the topmost layer, because it is a lighter than water. Then we can easily remove the oil layer from the top, and also by pouring it into another vessel, and also it leaves the water at the bottom. Next process of separation is extraction. So it is also a classical method. It is a process of separation of a substance from the matrix. Extraction is also available in different forms, that is liquid-liquid extraction, solid phase extraction, acid-base extraction, supercritical fluid extraction, ultrasound assisted extraction, heat reflex extraction, mechanochemical assisted extraction, microwave assisted extraction, instant controlled pressure drop extraction and pest traction. Here if we look at this picture, it is an example, it is a SOxylation apparatus, an example for solid liquid phase extraction. Applications of extraction process, it is mainly used to isolate the antibiotics from fermented broth and also used in the preparation of many natural and synthetic vitamins and also used in the preparation of drugs from naturally occurring materials. The next separation process is a evaporation. Evaporation is a process of a liquid changing into vapor. So it is a simple process where the liquid is converting into vapor. Below its boiling point we are heating the liquid. So this process is known as evaporation, and the applications are mainly used in the printing and coating processes, also used to recover the salts from the solution and also used to dry or concentrate the sample. So it is a simple technique of conversion of liquid into vapor by boiling it's below boiling point. Next process of separation is electrophoresis. Electrophoresis is a process of separation which involves the migration of charged particle through the solution under the influence of an external electrical field. Electrophoresis is also available in different types like affinity electrophoresis, capillary electrophoresis, which we previously discussed, and gel electrophoresis, immunoelectrophoresis, electroblotting, pulsed field gel electrophoresis, isoelectric focusing. Applications of this electrophoresis, it is mainly used to separate organic acids, alkaloids, carbohydrates, amino acids, alcohols, phenols, nucleic acids, then insulin, and also used to study the protein mixtures such as blood serum and hemoglobin, and also used to study and separate the antigen antibody interactions, used to test the purity of thyroid hormones. Next method of separation is filtration process. So it is a simple and classical method where we are separating the suspended solid matter from the liquid. So here for this separation we are using filter paper. Filtration is also available in different forms, that is vacuum filtration, microfiltration, ultrafiltration, nanofiltration, gravity filtration, cross flow filtration. Applications of filtration is mainly used to clean water like river water to remove the impurities, and also used for the sterilization purpose where we can't use the heat or where we can't apply the heat. Next method of separation is magnetic separation. Here we are using magnet for the separation process. So it is mainly suitable for the magnetic responsive particles. So by using this separation process, we are separating only magnetic responsive particles. For example, if we see this container is containing 3 different particles which are green, orange and blue in color. If we want to separate green particles which are magnetically responsive particles, if we place a magnet over here, it attracts the green particles which are magnetic responsive particles. So they attracted towards the magnet. Then we can easily remove the unwanted particles over here. Applications of magnetic separation includes mainly used to separation in chemical processing and also used in dairy, grain, milling, plastics, food, chemical, oils, textile industry. But the particle should possess magnetic response. Then only we can easily separate the particles by using this technique. Thank you students. Please subscribe my channel Prasad Bharati Pharma Concept Day.